Hey guys! Welcome to Mama's Boys. In this program, we will meet priests from around the globe. We will discuss interesting features of their lives, from their humble beginnings, their calling, the churches, and more.
Sa episode na ito, makikilala natin si Most Reverend Patrick Daniel Parcon, ang obispo ng Diocese ng Talibon sa Bohol. Pakinggan ang kanyang vocation story, dito lang lahat yan sa Mama's Boys, Mama Mary's Boys.
Hello po, Bishop. Una po sa lahat, maraming salamat po sa pagpapaunlak niyo po na ma-interview po namin kayo dito po sa program namin na Mama's Boys, Mama Mary's Boys po.
Thank you.
Bishop, first of all po sa ating pong mga audience, magpakilala po muna kayo and kindly tell something about yourself po.
Okay, I am Bishop Patrick Daniel Parcon. I'm the Bishop of the Diocese of Talibon, Bohol. So I'm not really from this place. I belong to the Diocese of San Carlos. But way back 2014, I was appointed by Pope Francis to be the Bishop of Talibon. So this is my first assignment as a bishop. I was assigned as a seminary formator, rector in the Seminary of St. John Meridiani in San Carlos City, Negros Occidental. That belongs to the Diocese of San Carlos. So I have been there for the past 13 years. So total 13 years of being a formator in the seminary.
Bishop, una po sa lahat, syempre po, tanungin po namin paano po yung journey niyo po to priesthood. What's your vocation story po, Bishop?
It's a very long story. You know, I don't really wanted, it's not my dream to be a priest. No? My childhood dream is to be a doctor. Because I am fascinated by the medical profession. It is because I belong to a family of nurses, doctors, and I am also interested in what they're doing. And for me, healing, taking care of the sick is really an important thing for me in my life. So I just love to do it. So it's my dream.
And also po, you were exposed to the medical field po.
Yeah. So that's the reason why I am interested. So I'm not exposed to religious works because my parents are not going to church. I don't even remember receiving my first communion. Yeah, that's one thing that I remember, that when I was in my elementary years, I didn't really bother to go to church. And I never remember receiving my first communion. So I only had my first communion during my grade 6 graduation baccalaureate mass. So nobody is teaching me about a Catholic faith. Nobody is. I'm not really into that kind of thing. So when we have Flores de Mayo, but I seldom attend because I tend to play around, and then sometimes I am enticed to attend the Flores de Mayo because there are snacks. Yeah, and there are giveaways at the end of the month if you have tickets like that. But you know, in terms of really practicing the faith, that's not my concern. So, well, my family at the beginning, we are not really that religious. So we are just nominal Catholics. I remember my parents are not going to church. So they go to church on Good Friday, but there's no mass. So it's actually the orientation of my family is more on business. We are not particular in being a religious family. So it came later in our life. You know, then something went wrong to the family business, and that made them realize the fact that if you have everything, if you have a prosperous business and you have no relationship with God, everything will be useless. So there was this conversion story of my parents. they end up joining the charismatic renewal movement, and it is because of the charismatic renewal movement that they realize the importance of having a relationship with God. So that terrible economic situation in our family opened their eyes to see the reality that what is important in life is our relationship with God, not about a prosperous business. So, well, everything has a reason, has a purpose. It paves the way of the faith formation of our family.
Is
So
that the reason as well po, Bishop, that led you to...
I believe so, that the Lord paves the way for me. Because when my parents became active to church activities, I end up also being exposed to the life of the church, and every now and then I encountered priests, because our home has become a meeting place for priests. So when our priests in the parish have nothing to do in the parish, they will go to our house, they will eat with us, and then it end up a point of conversation for all of us. So in other words, I was exposed to the life of the priest when my parents started to be active in the church. So my mother became an active member of the parish pastoral council. He is involved in catechetical ministry. She's involved in catechetical ministry and other things. And she has become a very devoted servant of the charismatic renewal movement, which also led to the conversion of my father. My father became an active member of the lay Eucharistic ministry of the church. So that paves the way of my vocation.
But Bishop, you already graduated na po back then?
Yeah, I have a degree in chemistry. So I took up BS chemistry because that is my preparatory course for my medical degree. You know, I'm fascinated in practicing a different kind of medical profession because I'm afraid to inject people. So in other words, what I am envisioning in my life is an alternative kind of medical practice, that I will not be using synthetic drugs. I will be focusing more on herbal products, and it's an alternative way of becoming a doctor. So it is a dream that is in my heart.
Magbabalik kami after a few reminders, kaya stay tuned guys! Kayo pa rin ay nanonood ng Mama's Boys, Mama Mary's Boys. For more 5 siglo content, like, share at subscribe natin ang ating mga social media platforms. Back on our interview with Bishop Dan.
So that's why I took up chemistry, because you know, when you will be dealing with medicines, you should be knowledgeable with chemistry. So biochemistry fascinated me. Yeah, and in fact, my undergraduate thesis in my bachelor's degree in chemistry is on herbal medicine. So that's actually the thing that I would like to pursue. But you know, God has other plans for me. So going back to my exposure to the life of priest and parish activity in my parish, that's it. There was a turnaround of my inclination, and it paves the way to my vocation.
Yan na po yung sinasabi po nila, Bishop, na late vocation po, ano?
In a sense, it's a late vocation because I entered the seminary at age 25. Yeah, so God will make a way. God will certainly pave the way. So I have plans, but God has other plans for me. So for me, the most important thing is I followed the will of God in my life.
What made you decide po na ito na yung sitwasyon na papasok na ako sa seminary?
Yeah. First, it was the 1986 election.
Mhm.
So the parish is looking for a leader who will be the chairman of the NAMFEL, National Movement for Free Elections. So I was chosen to head the NAMFEL of my parish. And because of NAMFEL, I am exposed to different priests, to different leaders in the community, and that's the beginning of my involvement in the parish. So after the election, which we successfully managed, because there is what we call twists and turns of the political climate in our place, because the long-standing mayor of the place lost.
Okay.
So parang nagbabago yung administration sa aming lugar.
Lugar po.
So, and many said it's because of NAMPREL. Well, we are non-partisan actually, but we are just trying to help and educate the people to vote wisely, and we really guarded the votes. We are really election watchdogs. So it paves the way of my involvement in the church, and from then on, I was involved in the many social apostolate of the church, the catechetical ministry, and then it just so happened that something is going on inside me that led me to decide to become a priest.
Paano po nung pumasok na kayo sa seminary? How was your experience being in the seminary?
It was not that easy. First thing first, there is this element of pride in me that I am a professional. And then my first assignment was to clean the bathroom, the CRs, and then it's so dirty, it's so smelly, things like that. Why I am doing this? I'm already a professional, so I think it's the element of pride in me that is operating at that moment. But I was reminded that I choose this vocation. From now on, I have to be humble and to be open to the demands of formation, and humility is one requirement to really be able to persevere in one's vocation. So humility, that is the thing that I always remind myself. Yes, you are a degree holder, you're a professional, but it doesn't mean you are far better than others. So in a sense, that virtue was developed in me. So as a professional, I put it into service to my fellow seminarians. So I cleaned the CR, I allowed myself to be used by the formation that I am in. So I end up tutoring my fellow seminarians in their classes in chemistry, in biology. So I am like a tutor to my fellow seminarians, because they know that I am a degree holder, have degree in chemistry, and problems in mathematics, like trigonometry, algebra, chemistry, biology. They will ask my help. So I end up like a consultant to them. At the same time, a tutor to them in their difficult situation. So it's like a ministry that I did during my seminary days.
How about your family po, especially your parents po, Bishop? Ano po yung sinabi nila that you want to enter into the priesthood?
Well, my brothers and sisters are not really excited about it. They said that you have already a degree and you might just be wasting your time. Maybe you are just being frustrated because you have difficulty finding a job, things like that. And my parents are so excited. So especially my mother. My mother was so ecstatic when she learned that I am planning to enter the seminary. And she said, I am 100% supporting you. And my father also said to me, you know what? You have already a degree. You are a professional. And now you decide to become a priest. You might be changing your mind along the way. So tighten your belt. Tighten your belt. So if you want to pursue this vocation, I will be 100% supporting you. And he said to me, from now on, I will go to Mass every day.
Wow.
So when I entered the seminary, my father never failed to attend the Mass every day for my vocation. That's what he said to me, to help me tighten my belt so that I can persevere.
How was your siblings nowadays po, Bishop? Nung pong nakapag-priest na kayo, ano po yung kanilang sinabi naman po sa inyo?
Well, in the course of my formation, they started to support me. They are beginning to realize the fact that it's really God's call that they have to respect. So at the start, they are not supportive, but along the way, they supported me. They helped me a lot in my seminary formation. So now, everybody is happy that I became a priest, and everybody was so excited when I told them that I'm pushing through my plan to become a priest.
And of course, siguro, proud na proud po sila sa inyo, lalo na po nung maging bishop na po kayo.
Well, I believe so. But you know, my family is a very low-profile family. We don't like the limelight. And they realize the fact that I am a bishop, I am a leader of the community, and they're so thankful and grateful to God for giving me this wonderful gift of being a bishop. In fact, I am hesitant to accept the fact that I am chosen as the Bishop of Talibon. So it took me a week to really decide to accept it or not.
Magbabalik ang Mama's Boys, Mama Mary's Boys, kaya huwag kayong aalis. We are still here with Bishop Dan Parcon ng Diocese ng Talibon, Bohol. Like, share and subscribe natin ang episode na ito to spread the good news and good vibes.
What made you decide po, Bishop, to accept?
Well, the book of Pope Francis, there was this apostolic exhortation of Pope Francis, which tells me to go beyond my comfort zone. So I'm so afraid to accept the fact that I will be a bishop of this diocese, because I don't know anybody from this place. I'm so familiar with my diocese. I'm so comfortable with my life in the diocese, and I have experienced running a diocese, because before I became a bishop, I was the administrator of the Diocese of San Carlos for 18 months. So as an administrator, you are like an acting bishop.
Yes po.
In the absence of a bishop, you will be like the acting bishop. So I have experienced terrible situations, trying moments during my administration as the administrative Diocese of San Carlos, and for me, that's enough. So when the new bishop was elected, I was so ecstatic and so happy. In fact, my plan is to go back to the United States and to stay there for good, because my brothers and sisters are all there. Because I was in the US pursuing my master's degree in religion and religious education with core concentration in Christian spirituality. I graduated, I finished my master's degree in Fordham University. So I was staying in New York for 4 years. Yeah, I have experience ministering in different dioceses in the US. My first assignment was in West Virginia, then to Texas, then to New York. So I have experience administering a parish in the parishes of the United States. So,
what's the difference po, Bishop, on administering a parish from the United States compare po dito sa Philippines?
well, big difference. if you are not strong enough, you will be lonesome in the US because, people there are not really that, enthusiastic and very, shall we say, focus on really staying more and spending more time in the parish. They will just go and visit the parish if they need something spiritual needs like confession, counseling, and then we only have one mass a day. Like here in the Philippines, you can have multiple masses, and people come and visit the parish every now and then. So, parishes here in the Philippines is always filled with people. In the US, you will only see people every now and then. So most of the time, you are idle. So that's why I end up studying. Because if I did not study, I just plainly parish work, I might get bored. So, I could have not persevere in staying there for a long period if I have I have not decided to pursue my masteral studies.
Bishop, what's your most memorable experience po as a priest po muna?
I am a formator in the seminary, and for me, it's a great privilege to help a young person prepare himself to become a priest. And it's so fascinating to know that you are part of their life's formation. And when they became priests, it's like saying to yourself, well, weak as I am, unworthy as I am as a formator, but in a way I have contributed to their formation. Now they are priests. So just like a teacher, when your student will graduate and become professionals, you will be so proud of them. So I'm so proud of my students before now becoming priests, and I'm looking forward every time that I am engaged in the formation work. I really look forward and pray for them that they will persevere and become priests like me. So it's my fulfillment. And in as much as that I am a seminary formator in the many years of my ministry, so it's my fulfillment to see my students becoming priests.
How about ngayon pong bishop na po kayo? Ano po yung memorable experience niyo po?
I have a lot of memories. But the greatest memory that I had is when the typhoon Odette struck us in December 2021. It was a very horrible situation. It was my first time to experience a very strong typhoon like Odette. And I was praying here in the chapel with one of my deacons, and praying for safeties, praying for the safety of the people. And while praying the Holy Rosary, you will get disturbed because you will hear the banging and the horrible sounds, the clashing, the breaking of the glass windows, etc. And the place is so dark. It's so dark. So when the noise is so unbearable already, when the sounds of the wind is so strong and horrifying already, we end up getting out from the chapel. And when we get out from this chapel, where I am praying, I saw my brother priest in the rectory, a little bit terrified, and we started hearing creaking sounds from the rooftop, and only to realize that our roofs are already gone, and water start coming into the house. And then my chancellor said, "Bishop, it's time for us to go down, or else we will be hit, or we will be covered by debris here in upstairs. So from the second floor, we went down to the first floor and hide in the economos office for
Opo.
safety.
That is in the convent po, ano?
Yeah, downstairs, where we are right now. So when we were downstairs, we heard a very strong sound, like something fell from the roof. And I said, I think the ceiling collapsed.
Join us again next week on the next part of our interview. I would like to thank Simpao Makapagal Vision Center for My Eyewear. We would like to thank the following.
There you have it, guys. Thank you for joining us in this episode of Mama's Boys. Hope to see you in our future episode. This has been your host, Karen Dade. Jama Taray Shinen!